Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Price. Welcome to the 2022 Energies. Now, I'm going to begin by reviewing 2021, which is important so that you are moving into the next year having used all of the potential that 2021 has offered. Now, the overall energies of last year that Ariane, the Lyran Council of Time, showed me was freeing your heart. And every year they offer a focus that helps us integrate our natural evolution of ascension, especially the mental and emotional energies. And 2021 was a 5-year, which means change. And it especially focused on integrating the feminine energetic of your inner realm, your intuition, nurturing change through time. And since humanity has been so out of balance with feminine energy, the year definitely had some intensity to it. And of course, I'm not just talking about being female. We all begin with a balance of masculine and feminine energetic, the two sides of one coin. And honoring the feminine energetic means that you're honoring the full flow of creation of both energetics, because we have tended to be very focused on the masculine energies, action to create. Now, the vision for 2021 was an earth dragon erupting fire and a sky dragon erupting clouds or water, emotions. And I heard release the poison. It was definitely a year of purging resistance to neutrality, maintaining your peaceful creativity, letting go of control that's not serving you. And that peacefulness, the result of release, is an open state of being well with what is as you're creating the future. And of course, this is always happening. It's just a matter of whether your present moment is poisoned, which might be too strong of a word, but other times probably appropriate, but whether your present moment is poisoned with fear, control, anger, manipulation. And because of that, that's what will be within the future, still seeking that resolution. Now, of course, for most of you, this is a subtle energy because you've been doing this for a long time. You're refining into your subtleties. But this is the work of ascension, like making sure that you're not avoiding release, which is that other side of the coin of activation. Can you neutralize a little more, a little more? Do you need to hold a boundary to honor your sacred inner realm, which is the feminine energetic? And it's just a matter of staying observant with your subtle energy constantly. And this is why Ariane focuses so much on thoughts and emotions, your subtle bridge, how you communicate to the subtle, and you are communicating to life constantly. And of course, in August, those of you that are on my newsletter know the energy began shifting intensely to support that feminine energetic healing. And that's going to continue strongly into next year. So to summarize this, as we start focusing on the energies of 2022, this last year, 2021, the year of freeing your heart, of getting your energy into your life more, was a 5-year. So a lot of change. And with the feminine principles so activated, that was a lot of inner change. And as 5 moves into 6, which is the numerology of 2022, you go from change into the balance of 6. And I always like to look at the two together. What are we moving from and into? So that 5 plus 6 is an 11. So that energy of balancing into your mastery, 11, will influence your 2022. And I'm actually really excited about what Ariane has shown me for this next year. The energies of 2022 are creative harmonics. Creative harmonics means holding that higher octave that you are creating in the future of your own life and therefore life on earth. And this is the culmination of what Ariane has been saying for so long. Get your energy into your life. Don't just default to what others' fears, manipulation, deception, their weakness, or greed. Don't just default to what others or the external is pushing and pulling you towards. Hold your higher octave of creation for a better experience here on earth. And this is being the change. And 2022 will definitely call you to hold that positive vision for your future, to forgive easily and hold healthy boundaries, to focus and yet allow that feminine energetic of following the intuition and choosing with greater wisdom, trusting yourself, trusting that flow of life, and all of this core ascension energies that are essential to creating a different future, not just repeating the old patterns with a new facade. And 2022 will definitely offer you opportunities to honor more and more of your feminine energetic, where much of your creative flow is about connection. And that's just another word for love. And of course, what mimics this? The subtle realm. It's all about connection. And of course, we live in the density of separation, separate bodies, separate experiences, perspectives, desires. And of course, we're also connected. But that's the invisible part. And that's the aspect of the feminine energetic, your inner realm. And that's where your subtle creation is. That's where your sacred space is. And healing that disconnection supports that greater connection within yourself and with life. And that's how you utilize that subtle energetic flow or that vastness that builds this world. And of course, that trust means that you're choosing your actions based on inspired energy, inspired action, not just the old paradigm of only action creates. That, of course, is not the whole story. You're going to be called more and more towards that interaction, creating within your subtle realm first. Of course, that other thing that Ariane talks about quite often, following that subatomic structure of the positive proton and its opposite, that negative electron, that are connected through that neutral neutron. And that's you, that allowing form to build even though you can't see it, holding that higher octave of what you're desiring to create with that neutrality so that those opposites can connect with more stability and more ease. Now, I'm sure many of you noticed that what has been working before didn't work well last year. And this has been building for a while. We've had to develop new boundaries, new ways of focusing, new ways of connecting. And 2022 is going to bring this to another level. So you're going to be called to hold that higher octave, which means holding that sacred space, that sacred container of improvement within you, even when the present moment doesn't reflect it or support it. You have to be the one that knows that all is well and changing. Now, there are a few other things that I'm already aware of in 2022 as we work on creative harmonics. There's going to be another big wave of awakening occurring. And some of this is going to be connected to wanting to slow down, hence that balance energy of a 6 year. And that will be getting in nature, and making sure that you're relaxing more, taking breaks, even just short ones, really letting your nervous system relax. Making sure that you're able to tune in to that feminine energetic, that inner realm, and really tune into your heart so that you can hold that higher octave. Now, those of you on my newsletter know about that experience of last August, that message, now we can return to the Lady Moon, and that being very connected to Ophiuchus and creating a lot of deep ancient healing of the goddess suppression, the goddess wounding, that feminine wounding. So in 2022, we are going to continue to heal that divine feminine and divine masculine balance in many different ways. Some of that's going to be relaxing and releasing that false warrior energy that overpowers in order to take power, rather than honoring the sacredness of others, that connection with all life. And some of that is going to be honoring the feminine power through nature, getting out of nature, those broader cycles, connecting and building communities of support. Balance is definitely going to be key in that 6th year of 2022, even though change will be constant, which is what we've been experiencing for a while. That preparation for 2022 has been helping us to find better boundaries, better tuning into what's important within, and not just letting that external noise dominate your experience. And yet you don't want to resist imbalance. That holding that higher octave sometimes means letting that dissonance of imbalance lead to that new balance. Just like what happens every time we take a step. You imbalance, you move your leg forward in the direction you want to go. And even though you're still imbalanced, you're finding that new step where your new balance is. You're just going to imbalance again. That movement ultimately becomes easy rather than just focusing on, oh, I'm imbalanced. That's what we're moving into, where that flow of imbalance to balance is much easier. It's just movement. That's what life in physical density is. It's just movement. Just like the creative harmonics of music uses that dissonance to move into that resolution, your work is holding that higher octave of love, that knowing that life is just movement. All is well and changing. Now, for those of you that want to take this journey with me and amplify your creative harmonics, the annual subscription program is open until January 15th, and you can find out more about that on my website, jamieprice.com. And I'm also going to have a lot more videos coming out this year, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we are still in such a time of amplification. As Ariane shows it, that spiral tightening, where your work is to go with the flow. Don't resist that pull. Go within. And you're that creation pulsing so that you're resolving any kind of dissonance and creating harmony rather than just trying to push against the current flow. It's old news. Be the new. I hope you have an amazing 2022 and amplify your creative harmonic of love that you are.